Hi everyone! 2023 is finally coming to an end. Well, for me it's finally. It's been a year. And I didn't have any Christmas video ideas besides just looking through all the digital art that I've made this year, analyzing what mistakes I've made, what I have learned, what I can still learn, and stuff like that. Well, almost all of my digital art because I did a lot of commissions and I'm not gonna show most of them, only the ones I am particularly happy about. But yeah, and I'll try to make this fast. Yeah, let's just get into it. Starting with Malponi, of course. This is Rarity, and this is meant to be like some outfits I would give her. And here I learned a lot of stuff actually. I learned how to draw a full body from head to toe. I don't know how I did it, it just happened, I guess. And I figured out how to draw a face with a symmetry ruler because for some reason, whenever I would try to do it before this, it would look really bad. But here it looks really nice. The only critique I have, and I did this for a while, I made the heads way too small for some reason, I don't know, and it took me a while to figure that out. And on some of these drawings, the skin tones are pretty ashy. That also took a while to figure out for some reason, but yeah. Then I drew Rarity again because someone suggested that I draw her in this like shawl thing. I forgot the name of it. I remember the process was really fun and I really enjoyed it, but now I'm not a huge fan of the final result. I mean, all of the things that I mentioned before, the head being too small and the skin tone and everything. Yeah, I also used to put a lot of filters on my drawings, so sometimes it looks fine. Here it looks a little bit muddy, I feel. But I like how I colored the dress. I try to make it look like... I forgot what the fabric is called, but I like that. Next is a bunch of chibi icon commissions I did. I don't think I've ever done these specific commissions before or after this. But yeah, these were really fun to do. I think these are either the commissioner's friends OCs or like D&D characters or something like that, but yeah, this was really fun. This is another commission that I just really like and that I could find. This is the commissioner's OC and I once again had a lot of fun drawing it. Then I drew Toy Chica, and this is another instance of me trying to do a full body in like a different pose and experimenting a lot. And I'm actually gonna include a speed paint for this one because I like it a lot. Still the head is a bit small, but you know, at first glance, if I'm not like too picky about it, I really like it. Plus, it's a very different pose from what I usually do. Next drawing is in the same format, but it's Toy Bonnie. And here I also experimented a lot, did a full body and stuff, and I really like this drawing besides the head being too small, but yeah. And for this one I'm also gonna include a speed paint because I'm really happy with this. And then I continued the My Little Pony main 6 bases outfits thing, yeah. I actually don't think I finished Fluttershy's second. I think she took me a while to do for some reason. But yeah, I like these outfits. I do like the outfits I gave her. But again, the skin tone is a little bit gray and the head is too small, blah blah blah. I think I got a couple comments saying that she looks like a man, which, you know, didn't feel very nice, but next is Rainbow Dash, same thing, outfits, yeah, and it was actually kind of hard for me to figure out her outfits, even though they're supposed to be really simple, because I feel like she would dress pretty simple. But I like this. I really do. Her body took a while to figure out. Specifically her abs. I I didn't draw abs that much. I still don't, but I just wasn't sure how I wanna color them, but I like what I did in the end. Then I drew Tree Hugger from My Little Pony as well, and I like everything about this besides the head size and the skin color. It's a little ashy, but yeah. Then I did Twilight's outfits, and I feel like I could have done better, but it is what it is. I don't really like Twilight anyway. So, eh. At least her skin isn't as ashy as others. Then I did Pinkie Pie, and I had so much fun drawing her. I love the first and third outfits so much. Obviously, some people did not like my design, because TikTok, love TikTok. It also didn't help that around that time there was another art lore. Someone drew their Pinkie Pie design and it looked kind of similar to mine, but a lot of people were making fun of it. So when I posted my drawing, there were comments like, "Not this black pinky thing again." Die! Then I drew Toralei from Monster High. This is just a sketch I really liked and I colored it digitally. That's about it. I really like her face, and I think this is when I first found I forgot the name of the filter, but like a filter that gives your drawing a little texture. And then the last but not least, I did Applejack's outfits, and here I had similar issues to Rainbow Dash because it was really hard for me to do her outfits even though they're really simple, and her body because I wanted her to be buff, but I don't know, I just struggled for some reason, but it's okay. Still My Little Pony, but these are the Dazzlings, and this is kind of a redraw of an old drawing of mine. I like it at first glance, but once I start looking closer, I'm like, the heads are too small again, and Sonata, is that her name? The blue-haired one. I meant for her to be like really skinny, but I didn't exactly draw her like that, so maybe I'll redraw them again, but I don't necessarily hate this drawing. Then I tried doing some Monster High portraits, but my redesign, obviously. I don't know, I guess I wanted it to be kind of like a yearbook type of situation, but I drew only a couple characters. I don't think I posted all of them. I don't remember posting Cleo. But yeah. Then I drew C.A. Cupid, my redesign, from Monster High. This was just a really quick drawing for Valentine's Day because I realized I didn't have anything prepared. So I just quickly did this with a symmetry ruler. It's not the best. I like my C.A. Cupid design and I think I need to draw her more, but this isn't the best execution. This is another commission that I just really like. I don't know, this is the Commissioner's OC. This was again really fun. It's really different from what I usually draw. So yeah, when I do commissions, the fun part about it is a lot of people's OCs are very different from what I usually do. So it's also like a little practice, experiment, kind of outside of my comfort zone sometimes. So that's fun. And this is again a commission that I really like and could find. Also a Commissioner's OC, and also something a little different from what I usually do. Yeah. Ooh, this one was a lot. This took a while to do. This is Ice Spice, of course. This is the first time that I traced my reference to save myself some time and to make sure that the body type is accurate because I'm drawing an actual person. But yeah, and after this, I used this technique quite a few times, so yeah, just saying tracing isn't always bad. And I experimented with the coloring here a lot. I really like how I colored the jeans, and I've been coloring jeans this way since then. The only thing I don't really like is the face. It's not really as accurate, but even when I posted it, I was like, I don't know about the face, but everything else I really like, so yeah, I still agree with that. Okay, next I drew Nicole Watterson from The Amazing World of Gumball. I tried to get into Gumball. I watched like 11 episodes and kind of gave up. I'm not good at watching shows. But I wanted to draw Nicole, and some people told me that she's supposed to have tan skin, but I don't know. I don't know. Apparently, there's like an official fan art that Cartoon Network reposted, or she appeared as a human in one of the episodes. I don't know. I don't know. I was like, okay, I was not aware. But if I draw her again, I'll make her tan. I did not draw her again, but ooh, this one is good. I like this one a lot. This is Discord from My Little Pony, My Human Design. And I just wanted to give him some funky outfits. First one is kind of the basic design for him, I guess. The middle one is like a more official, fancy, at least by Discord standard. And the third one is like fun party kind of outfit, I guess. I don't know. This one took a long time to do, but it was also fun. You know, it was really fun to do an ugly outfit. I also don't mind the anatomy on this one. I feel like the head is... It's okay. The head size is okay. Um, I did get some comments like these outfits are so ugly, and I was like, thank you. Can you tell I really like the symmetry ruler? Anyway, these are supposed to be the main four boys from South Park: Stan, Kyle, Eric, and Kenny. They don't really look their age, I think. I only recently got how to draw children more their age. But yeah, I enjoyed doing this, so I guess that's all that matters. More symmetry ruler stuff. This is Chrysalis and Flufflepuff from My Little Pony, but like from those fan animations. I really like these. The anatomy could be a little better, obviously, but I don't know. I just like the details I did. I really tried hard on their faces and everything. And yeah, this was really fun. Another commission I really like, and this is the commissioner's VTuber, or just UC, I don't remember exactly, but this just looks really cool, I don't know. Next is a draw this in your style I did, and for this one I actually did rewards. So yeah, a lot of people joined, which I was not expecting, but yeah, a lot of people did a lot of different interpretations of this drawing, and it was really fun to see. Yeah. The pose could be better, though some people actually did better poses than this. But yeah, thank you everyone who joined. I really had a lot of fun looking through all of it. Another commission I really like, this is the Commissioner's OC again. I just like the pose. I don't really do poses like this that much for some reason, even though it's really cute. Drew Ice Spice again, but I still have the same issues as with the previous drawing of her. I don't really like the face, but everything else I really like, and it was a lot of fun to do all of the stickers and sparkles and textures and layering. I really enjoyed that. That was really fun. I can't believe this is the first time IOCs come up. Yeah, my OC is Nicole and Oliver, and this is kind of a redraw of an old drawing of mine, but I changed like everything besides the theme. But I still like this. Oliver's face could be better, but I really like how he drew Nicole. This character is actually not mine, and it's not Melanie Martinez. It's actually a doll by Moonlight Jewel on YouTube and Instagram. Her Gyaru alien girl. I just really liked her, and I really wanted to draw her face with a symmetry ruler. I like the symmetry ruler, okay? But yeah, a lot of colors, a lot of sparkles. I really enjoyed doing this. So yeah. Another commission, and these are the commissioners, I think OCs or their and their partners' personas, stuff like that. Anyway, I just included this because I really liked it, and I usually am not that pleased with my digital chibi drawings. I don't know, just with chibis, obviously, there's not as much details, and I sometimes feel like it's too flat or too simple, but here, I don't know, this just looked really good to me. Next, I drew Alia's interlude on Instagram. Kind of the same format as my Ice Spice drawings. I traced my references, the body. I did not trace the face. The face is drawn by me, but the body I traced from my reference. The coloring was really experimental and everything, and all of the stickers and pictures and the layering and sparkles. It was so much fun. Honestly, if you haven't tried this, you should. And Aliyah is just really fun for me to draw. I don't know. Then I tried to draw Bluey and Bingo as humans. They don't exactly look their age because of the anatomy, and also their skin is still ashy. I still did not figure that out, but yeah. Next, I did some Monster High redesigns, and I drew these for a video, so we are finally in my YouTuber era. These designs are okay. Claudine is fine. Draculaura, I got lazy, didn't really do much. I do like my Frankie redesign. I talk about them more in detail in the video, even though that video is not the best, but you can still watch it. And here's the other three I did. I did get some criticism. It was mainly that people just didn't like my designs, which is fine. But some people did point out that the heads are too small, which is true. But the way some people put it was just rude, so I was like blocked. But yeah, it's true. The heads are very small, but I don't hate these drawings. I haven't drawn these characters in a while though. I should get into that again. Next I drew Frisky from Bluey as a human, and I really like this drawing. I don't really have any complaints about it. I might draw her again soon for a future video, but who knows. Next I actually put two commissions from the same person of the same character. I just really like these because the character is all black and white, which I don't usually do, and the designs are really interesting and stuff, so yeah, this was really interesting to do. Okay, these next few drawings, I don't think I posted them anywhere besides maybe my Ko-Fi, but I was gonna draw South Park characters as teenagers, but also sitting in a classroom and like arrange the drawings to look like they're in a classroom, but I only did 4 or 5 characters and never finished it, so. This is supposed to be my design for aged up Henrietta from South Park. I mostly just really wanted to do this like really dramatic trad goth makeup. I think that's what it's called. But like with a symmetry ruler and really work on the eyeliner and eyeshadows and stuff. And I had a lot of fun with this. So, yeah. Though I feel like I could do better in the neck area, because I know how to draw bigger bodies, but here it's like looks a little bit off to me. I don't know. This is supposed to be kind of like a meet the artist thing. I drew this for my birthday, drew myself, some information, yada yada, the usual. Um, it's just funny because I drew this and then the next day I cut my hair and hated it. So that's great. And then I did a bunch of aged up South Park kids designs. The order got a little bit mixed up, so I'll just show them in the order that I have them in here. First is Tolkien, pretty simple design, but I like it. I feel like the face could be a little bit better, but the outfit is pretty much what I wanted him to look like. Next is Red, and I was really excited to draw her for some reason. I don't know. I feel like I could have done the skirt better. It was supposed to be like a see-through lace skirt type of thing, but overall I do really like my design. Next is Bebe. The head is too small, but other than that I really like this. Kenny, the pose is a little bit awkward, but still I really like this. I didn't want to make him too pretty because my old drawings of him looked way too pretty, so I think I achieved that. Next I drew Kyle, and this design is actually based on young Matt Stone. Yeah, specifically from the movie Basketball, because I kept seeing a lot of people draw Kyle and Stan inspired by Trey and Matt, so I was like, oh yeah, that makes sense actually, because Kyle and Stan are literally based on Matt and Trey. Next is Heidi, and I knew that I wanted to give her some crocheted stuff because, I don't know, to me she seems like the type to crochet her clothes or knit, whatever. And I knew that I wanted to keep her acne from one of the episodes. Next is Stan, and like I mentioned, he is inspired by young Trey Parker from Basketball specifically. It's not as obvious here. I couldn't figure out how to draw his hair similar to Trey's. So yeah, most of the inspiration is just blonde ends on his hair. I was a little bit nervous about posting him at first because it's kind of the, typical cringe fan art that a lot of people hated at the time. But you know what? Someone has to be cringe. And I feel like the acne and little facial hair kind of balances it out. Next is Butters. I see a lot of people make him trans or her trans as a callback to that one episode where he dressed up as Margarine. But I decided to do something in between, maybe he's letting his hair grow a little bit, wearing more girly stuff or something. I don't know. It's just Butters. Next is Nicole. I really like her face. I don't know how I did it, but it's just kind of different from what I usually did. I did get some, is this Amanda comments? And I was like, I swear to God. It was a little bit tough to figure out an outfit for her because I don't really know much about her. I didn't really have any opinions on her, but then I was like, overalls. Yeah. Craig, he's just a guy. I don't know, he's just a dude. I don't mind this drawing, except I feel like I could have done better on the shirt design. I knew I wanted it to be Red Racer, but I'm pretty sure there's not like a Canon logo for it or anything, so I just freestyle. And the last but not the least is Tweak. I did not do Eric because I did not want to. Yeah. I like how Tweak turned out, and yeah, that's it. I just like this drawing. This is based on the Hemlock Springs Sever the Blight music video. I hope I'm saying it correctly. I just really love this song and I wanted to draw some fan art. This is heavily inspired by a different artist I remember. I don't remember their name off the top of my head, so I'll put it on the screen. But yeah, this is not my usual style for digital art. This is more towards realism, and I tried coloring it differently, but I'm not a huge fan, to be honest. I like drawing more realistically, but more traditionally. I still have not really figured out how to make it look good digitally, even though I guess it shouldn't be that much different from my usual style. This is another commission I found and really liked. Again, usually I'm not super happy with my chibi drawings because they feel too flat, but this one looks nice. Ice Spice again, and this is just so much better than the previous drawings, and the coloring looks so much better with the realistic style. So yeah, this took a while, I think, and I don't think I even traced anything here. I don't remember. Maybe I did, maybe I didn't. Who knows? Still looks good. This one was very experimental. I mean, obviously it's an environment and the characters are in it. This is Lyra and Bonbon from My Little Pony. I just wanted to draw them on a little picnic date because I love them. It was fun to do, but after I finished it, only after I finished it, I was like, maybe I should look up some ways to draw grass and trees digitally. And I found a really nice method, but I did not feel like redoing the drawing. So I was like, I'll just use this next time I do an environment. And then I just did not do any environments ever again. And I again put a lot of filters and stuff. So now it looks a little bit muddy to me, and the greens I picked I feel like don't really go well with the characters' colors. But it was a good experiment. That's the point of learning. You try something new, you might not get it right first try, but you try again and again and apply new techniques and stuff and you get better. This is one of the Your Character Here commissions I did in June. I'm not gonna show all of them, but I had a lot of fun doing them. So there's not gonna be a lot of like personal art from June. But this one is the Commissioner's OC, I'm pretty sure. And this was a lot of fun to draw. These are the spa ponies from My Little Pony and kind of a redraw of an old drawing of mine. I might have been thinking of making this a series, like picking characters that are bright colored and drawing them, because these two are trans flag colored. But I didn't. I don't hate this drawing, it's just now their faces look a little weird to me, but my style has changed a little bit since then. But it was still a lot of fun to draw. If you haven't noticed yet, I love using the symmetry ruler, whether it's for faces or just drawing twins. I just love it. Speaking of, again, symmetry ruler and another Pride commission I did. This is a portrait. And this one was also a lot of fun to do. I really enjoyed the process. Speaking of the symmetry ruler again, and this is a redraw again, these are Cloud Chaser and Flitter, I think, from My Little Pony. They're like background characters, but they look really cool. I again used symmetry ruler and stuff. I love this drawing. I don't know, they were really fun to do. Another redraw, but these are my redesigns for Luna, Morpheus, and Mausetis King from Monster High. Yeah, just a while ago I made a drawing of them, like shopping, kind of, I guess, and I redrew it. It was loads of fun, so much fun. Damn, I drew a lot of My Little Pony, but this is Zecora, my girl. I love her so much, and I love my design for her. I used this symmetry ruler for her face again, obviously, but I also tried doing like lighting a little bit. I don't know if it looks correct, but I don't mind the look, I guess. I still have not learned how to do dramatic lighting, so that's something I still need to work on. But yeah, I love this drawing. Next, I drew this Evanescence cover because everyone was doing it. I guess it was like a challenge of sorts. But this was really fun. It was a little bit different from my usual coloring, so it was an interesting experiment, I guess. Yeah, I'm kind of running out of things to say in these drawings because they're more recent, so I like them still. More My Little Pony. These are supposed to be my Equestria Girls redesigns. I basically try to make my already existing redesigns look younger. I don't know. You can watch the video. But yeah, this is Rarity. I like this drawing and I love her face. Her face. It turned out so good. Next is Fluttershy. She's okay. She's fine. She is my favorite from the main six, so I guess I have like higher expectations for her. And this drawing isn't the best I've done of her, so eh. Next is Applejack, and yeah, I still have not fixed the skin tones. I don't know why it's taking me so long to figure that out. But this drawing is okay. I honestly just reused an already existing outfit. I did. Pinkie Pie, and I again basically reused an outfit I did earlier. But I like it, you know? If it's good, why change it? Twilight, like I said, I don't really like Twilight that much, so I didn't really care about this either. Next is Rainbow Dash. I really like this one. I wanted her to have a mix of a sporty style, but also a little bit of a scene style for all the people that would comment that on my previous Rainbow Dash design. But yeah. And the last but not least is Sunset Shimmer, and I like this. She's cool. She looks cool. I wish I drew her more because she's actually quite fun to do. And then I think Security Breach Ruin came out, so I was like, ooh, I need to draw the characters again and redo my old designs. So I did. I did these little like head shots, I guess. I like these a lot, and I also did Ruin versions of them, but it's all gory, so I don't know if I can show it on here. It's on my Instagram. I made like little edits for them, so yeah. Next is another redraw. This is the Walton Files. Rosemary, Jack, and Felix. The idea is that they're younger, and maybe Felix got a new car, and you know, they just live happy and stuff. The first try, I don't even want to talk about it. The one from last year, I like it, but I like the pose better on the new one. But I like how crisp the previous one is, if you know what I mean. But yeah. Next, I decided to draw updated character sheets for my OCs because the old ones I did are bad and ugly. So first is Nicole. Yeah, I don't know I should say. I like this drawing a lot. Next is my boy Oliver. Love him forever. Need to draw him more often. Next is Tasha. Not sure why I picked this pose, but sure. Oh, and I think here I fixed the skin tones a little bit. I would get comments like here and there every now and then that the skin tones look gray or ashy, and I'd kind of ignore it. But at some point I started getting them more often, so I was like, maybe it's true. And yeah, it was true. And last but not least is Tyler. And funny thing about this one is I had to write down a birthday for all of these characters, and everyone except Tyler already had a birthday. So while I was drawing these, I just picked a random date, and when I posted it, I got so many comments like, "Oh my god, I have the same birthday as Tyler," and I was like, "What? How do so many of you have the same birthday?" Bonbon from My Little Pony again, and this I drew specifically for a tutorial, two tutorials, how I sketch and how I color. So with Bonbon, I wanted to show how I draw faces with a symmetry ruler and how I reference bodies. Yeah, I like this drawing. I think it's cute. And then I drew Lyra for the same purpose, but with her, I showed how I just freehand the face and how I trace the body from the reference to show that it's okay and you can use it without stealing art. And yeah, I like this drawing a lot as well. And of course, I had to draw them both, my favorite lesbian horses. Okay, this is when I finally watched Fiona and Cake. These are the lemon carbs. I really like their designs, but this is not the best drawing. Of course, I used the symmetry ruler. I don't really like their faces, to be honest. I wanted them to have like an angry expression, and I wanted the features to kind of match the show, I guess. But I don't know, don't really like it. And I did get some comments about their body types, but like, look at them. This is a redraw from the show Fiona and Cake again. Simon and Betty. This one is okay. It was fun to do like a different composition and pose and stuff. But I don't know, something about the overall coloring or editing. I don't know, the colors look a little bit weird to me. Maybe because I don't do line art, so it kind of muddies up or something. Drew myself in this cool little outfit I put together, but I could not take any pictures, so I decided to just draw it to document it, I guess. I don't know, something about the face is like a little bit weird to me. I cannot draw myself properly. And then I did a bunch of Fiona and Cake not redesigns, honestly. I try to keep the designs the same, but just in my style and some more extra details. But first, here is Marshall. It took me a while to figure out his face for some reason, but here I really like it. Next is Gary, and when I was drawing these two, I had in mind that when I would post them on Instagram, they would be looking at each other, but I messed up and I first posted what would it be? I first posted Marshall and then I posted Gary, so in the end they're looking away from one another, and I was like, cool, thanks. Next is Fiona. I tried to keep her body type similar to the show because I've seen some people draw her really skinny and like, huh? And I drew two versions of her as well because why not? I can. Then I drew Simon. Yeah. Next is Winter King, and I don't really like the pose. I guess it's not as expressive as I wanted it to be. Um, if the head was turned or something, I feel like it would have been better, but I wanted to make them all face forward so I can have a face reference for the future. Next is Bubblegum. I don't remember if this one has a specific name, but yeah, Bubblegum. This one's cool. I tried to keep her facial features the same as Gary's, but like because they're the same person but in a different universe. You know what I mean? But yeah, this was fun. Tyler, and here it was a lot. First I wanted to draw a back view of the character, do like this thing where you flip the character and then draw over it to make it like the back view. And I traced the outfit from the reference I was using, and it was also a clothing study, kind of. Because when I did my coloring tutorial, first of all, I immediately changed some of the things, and two, I realized that I color and shade clothing completely differently from everything else, and it really annoyed me, so I wanted to figure out how to make the clothing coloring fit better with the rest of my coloring. But yeah, this was really helpful, and after this I shade clothing completely differently. Next is Marceline from one of the Fiona and Cake episodes. She looked great in that episode, okay? And I did both of her outfits. This was really fun. I again tried to keep the facial features the same with Marshall because they are the same person in different universes. And I partially traced her legs from a photo reference because I couldn't get them right. So yeah, I'm mentioning all of this to show you that tracing can be useful. I don't think I ever posted this one, but I also drew Betty in the same format. Um, it's cool. I like it. I experimented a little bit with the face and stuff. So yeah. Okay, this one I actually remember I drew earlier, but I never posted it or anything. It was just in my drawing app, but I posted it much later. Anyway, this is supposed to be a Celestia redesign, but her Equestria Girls version. I made a video on this, so you can watch that. I like this. Next is a Luna redesign, and this one is also older, but I never posted it. So you can see there's some differences in the style and coloring, or at least I can see that. But I still like this drawing. And again, I made a video on these three where I talk more in detail about my design choices and stuff. So you can watch that. Wink, wink. Next is the same thing, but Cadence, and I like this one a lot as well. This one is more recent. Clearly, I traced my reference again, and here you can see me applying a new clothing shading method. I used to airbrush some purple on top of the clothes and then erase it to like shape it more like the shadows. But now I do just like a random shape, I guess, like solid shape, and then I lower the opacity. Yeah, it looks a lot better in my opinion, or at least it fits better with the rest of my style. Next, I did a couple drawings of Stardew Valley characters. These were fun. The most fun part for me was at the very end, merging all the layers and putting on a pixel filter. Oh boy, okay. Lemon carps again, but I tried to make them more voluptuous. I just saw some references or drawings of women with this kind of body type, and I was like, I need to draw the lemon carps like that and, do them justice. This one got a lot of get comments, and I hate that word, it really annoys me, but engagement is engagement, I guess. Oh my god, I'm almost done. These are some bluey human designs for the kids. I made a video on this one again, so if you want to hear more details and my thought process and everything, you can watch that. So I'm just gonna show them all. I really like these. I finally figured out how to draw children. I struggled with that for a while, like I mentioned. Oh, and I changed my coloring just a little bit, specifically the face shading. I stopped shading under the eyes because sometimes it looked like eye bags and it was just too much, and I really, really like it. And I'm also currently working on drawing the adults from Bluey as well, so possibly a future video, wink wink. Next is Glamrock Chica from FNAF Security Breach. I basically found some references of women on like retro roller skates, I guess, and I just felt like drawing Chica like that. This was a lot of fun, and it took a while. I don't know. I felt really inspired to draw this, and usually when that happens, I can finish a really complicated drawing in just a few hours. But with this one, it took me like 5 days to finish coloring this, because I would like do it maybe 30 minutes at a time and give up. I don't know. But you know, I practiced more dynamic poses, so props to me, I guess. This is one of the Christmas commission I did. I again just really like this one, and it was loads of fun to do. Like I mentioned, I love doing commissions when the commissioner's character is very different from what I usually do, so I can do something out of my comfort zone. This is another commission I really like, and again, something I don't usually do, so it was really, really fun. Okay, I do have a few more drawings done, but they're for a future video, so I'm not gonna show them here. Even though I want to because I really like them. But anyway, here's a little comparison of the first drawing I did this year and the last one. I don't know, you tell me. I feel like I've improved a lot in terms of coloring and anatomy and poses, maybe. Yeah, not quite composition or environments, but there's potential, there's time. But now I want to be a little sappy for a second. This year has been a lot for me, both in real life and online. I started my channel this year. In March is gonna be 1 year since I started. And the support so far has been crazy, and without you, I would not be able to do all of this. Younger me could only dream of something like this, being able to share my art, but also for it to have an impact, to get feedback from people, and even make money from it. Like, that's wow. And I am beyond grateful to all of you, no matter if you like my video, like my post, comment, commission me. No matter how big or small your support is, I am beyond grateful for every single one of you. Without you, I would not be able to do any of this, and I'm not planning on stopping. I want to expand my art, learn more stuff, do more stuff, maybe merch, stuff like that. So, yeah, I just hope you stick around for that. This year has been a lot for all of us, I'm sure. So let's just hope that the next is gonna be better. Yeah, I'm not very good with words, so I'm sorry if this is a little bit awkward. But thank you so much for sticking around, for watching this, for listening. I hope you enjoyed this. I wish you all the best in the upcoming year. Stay safe, everyone, and see you all in 2024. Bye!